Yo YouTube, what is going on? StayHumbleWhite, and I'm back at it again with another vlog. As you guys can see, we're in the garage with it. I got another Civic vlog for you guys. You guys are probably getting tired of my shit, man, but I don't care. You're gonna have to deal with it. I've missed this shit so much, and if you guys can't tell, I don't know what else to tell you, but yeah. So like I said, we're in the garage with it, and I was like, fuck it. Let me just finish adjusting the rear suspension on the hatch, because when I put the rear suspension on, I didn't get to adjust it the way I wanted it to adjust it or whatnot. I also took the time out, and I don't know if you guys could see, but I painted that rear brake drum cover or whatnot. That's flat black. I used header paint. I used this shit right here. Before, it used to look like this. Rusty and shit. Now it looks like this and shit. So I got a head start. I did this side already. I already adjusted the suspension. I think I might have went just a tad bit too high, but you know what, I don't care, because the way my garage floor is set up, man, I don't know what the fuck is going on here, but there's a huge crack, right? And you guys can't see it right now because the car's on top of it, but the crack is worse over here. So if I was to try to put the car flush parallel in with the wall, my header would scrape that shit right there, and I can't get the car in. So I gotta leave it on this angle right here, and I don't like that because it's really not that comfortable. I just want to come in, drive in. If I gotta work on the car, move it over a little bit, but I can't because of this fucking crack right here. So I'm raising the rear, hoping that's gonna help just a little bit, and we'll go from there. So yeah, I'm gonna take this rim off right now. I'm gonna adjust that suspension with you guys. We're gonna paint that rear disc drum and go from there. I'm also gonna get some new lug nuts soon. I'm gonna get some red tuner lug nuts to make these wheels pop even more. So what I'm gonna start off doing now is the easy shit, and that's gonna be giving this a quick pass over, a rub on this rear disc drum right here. So when I paint it, the rust doesn't make it look too raggedy and shit. So that's what I'm gonna do. Go around the whole thing. Oh shit, guys, I forgot to say before I even started doing this, let's soak the rear suspension in WD-40, so when we go to twist that puppy, she twists with no problem. This is brand new suspension, but I have been driving a car, and it has been snowing around here. Yeah, I know I shouldn't be driving a car in the snow, but you know, I gotta do my thing, man. I'm gonna hit this right here with some brake cleaner, take all the dust off and shit like that. And just let that dry off. Once that dries off, we're good to hit it with some paint. Pequeño, mucha gente me quiso ver mi sueño. Por eso día soy su pesadilla. No hay nada que le darle lo mío, soy dueño. Then we use the same air in the can to dry it up. I had my heater, but that shit is running out of propane, so it's not busting the way it's supposed to. Alright, YouTube. So I just cracked the bottom bolt loose. That's tightening my suspension down. So what I'm gonna do is go back and forth on the threads, because there is a little bit of garbage on there. And I'm gonna drive this all the way up here. I'm gonna take my measurements and I'm gonna adjust from there. I got my my measurements that I did on the other side. So I'm just gonna even them up, and there we go. Suspension is set. Back and forth, so you don't fuck this up. This shit gets fucked up real fast, guys, and you don't want that. Especially with eBay suspension, not knocking them, because they're definitely doing a good job. Everybody that gets in the car tells me that the car rides good and shit, so I ain't knocking them. But these threads get fucked up fast, so you want to avoid that at all costs. So what I have is, on the other side, I set the top hat of the suspension from up here to the end of the threads down here. I have that from 12.5 inches. So we're gonna measure from here to here and see what we have now, and then to make sure that when we're done, we have 12.5 inches on this side just as well as the other side, so they could sit evenly. Also, I had the rear right from the top of this lock right here to the bottom of these threads. On the other side, it was 1.5 inches. I'm gonna measure this side and see what I got from here to here, and I'm gonna make sure that I leave it at 1 7/8 of an inch, just like I have on the other side, so again, it can sit evenly. So let me take my measurements and do some adjustment, guys. All right, guys, so what I have right now is literally 1 5/8 on the dot. So I have to raise the suspension a little bit more to give it to 1 7/8. So from there to there, like I just said, is 1 5/8. And from the top hat to the bottom, we are at 12 1/4. So yeah, we definitely got to make some adjustments, guys. Almost there. It's really not that far off, but we definitely got to make some adjustments. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna mark this line right here to make sure that when I spin, I could get a proper count of how many spins I did. So I'm gonna put some black tape right here and I'm gonna spin. All right, guys, so I don't know if you guys could see it, but right here, I have a piece of black tape, and that's gonna be my indicator to if I make my full turn or not. So we're gonna start by, I loosened it. Okay, I'm gonna need 2 hands for this, so I'm gonna put my phone down and we're gonna get to twisting. So that's 1 full turn. I'm gonna do 3 and I'm gonna check my measurements because this one wasn't that off. So that's 2 full turns, and we're gonna do the 3rd. Okay, that's 3 full turns. Now I'm gonna clean my hands and check my measurements. This is why I say, guys, you wanna clean this shit with WD-40 and spray it and make sure it's lube, because bro, these things can seize and your suspension stays stuck. Like, you're not gonna be able to adjust that shit or nothing. So you see how fresh and easy that shit turned? I want that shit to happen every time I gotta make an adjustment. I want it to stay that smooth. All right, guys, I checked the measurement and it's still off by a little bit more, so I'm gonna twist it. I did 3 already. I'm gonna do 2 more times just like I did the other side. Who knows, maybe the back was set the same way, so let's just go for it. All right, so that's 3. 4. 5. Oh shit. Almost there. Literally almost there. I think 1 more spin and we'll be there. Let me see. From up here to right here, it should be 12.5. Almost there. I'm gonna go for 1 more spin, guys, and that should be the proper seat. So let's go for it. All right. You see, now it's too much. So what I gotta do is give it a 1/2 turn back. Yeah. Okay, that should be the halfway mark right there. And almost. Let me see. Top to bottom. Almost. All right, so let me give it another. It's almost there. What happened to her? I might have gave it too much. All right. You got it. Show me you got it. Oh, there we go. 1 7/8 on the dot, baby. All right, so that's 1 7/8. This is supposed to be 12.5. We got 12.5 on the dot, bro. I really hope you can see it. All right, so my rear suspension is adjusted. Let me clean these threads right here. Right, clean them off of all the dirt that's there, and then respray it. I probably should be using like a wire brush for this, but I'm gonna clean these threads off and then respray it with some WD-40. Make sure I get inside and shit. And then I'm gonna put the locking ring back down and tighten them up because these puppies are finished. Look how smooth that locking ring is going down. That's how you want it. And shit, nice and fresh. All right, got that. Guys, don't mind me the way I'm about to tighten this shit. Bought the car used. I didn't build it, so I didn't get the locking keys for the suspension, so I got to use my own little tools and improvise. You feel me? So we're gonna grab a chisel and a hammer and just give it a couple of love taps until she stops moving. You don't want to OD it either, so until she's nice and snug. You'll hear the sound difference. And that's it. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Can't twist it by hand. That's what you want right there. So we did that. The adjustment is done. Now let's get back to this shit right here. I'm gonna hit it with one more passive brake cleaner and let it dry again, and we'll paint this right here. So let's go from there. All right, y'all. Now that that's dry and clean, we're gonna hit it with some of this whatever the fuck you call it, header paint and shit. That's all I got right now. Don't mind my shield. I'm using I'm using a lid to a garbage can. And it's perfect because it literally blocks off all the tight spaces that I need at a 360-degree angle and shit. So let's give it full send. There you have it, folks. She's fully painted. So now we're gonna let that dry. Once that dries, I'll put the wheels back on. We'll drop the car, check out the rear suspension, and move on to the front calipers. Yo guys, look what my coworker Rolo just texted me. This is the guy that gave me the P28. That's for his Ford Ranger. He used to have a Honda, but now he's got a Ranger, right? So look what I texted him, showing him my exhaust. If I'm completely honest with you, I needed to hear that. Should look clean, you know? You're not going to be able to see it because it's too dark, but that's a good thing because before you could see the rust loud and clear. Now you can't see shit. Alright, so first is to drop.
Hay personas que saben que pueden ahorrar cientos en seguro de auto si se fijan primero con Allstate. Por ejemplo, sabes que debes fijarte que tengas el tanque lleno de gasolina antes de manejar por el desierto. Está vacío. ¿En serio? Que eso puede caminar.
You gotta drop
Así
the
es,
e-brake.
fíjate, es una buena idea. Así que fíjate primero con Allstate.
It's gonna drop
una
more.
cotización que podría ahorrarte cientos.
That's not the final height.
Estás en buenas manos con
This is the
Allstate.
final height right here.
Los descuentos varían, aplican términos. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company afiliados. No es porque no hay.
Estos
So yeah, I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but I hope you did. So as of right now, this is the final height. It's really not that bad. It's not that bad at all. I just gotta fix camber now. Once I fix the camber, this camber's sticking out more, and this camber is more tucked. So I gotta fix that up and see how we look. But I want to take it outside and see how it looks on flat ground. All right, YouTube, let me show you what we got going on. So I had to go back and readjust after making my first adjustments in the rears or whatnot, but I went back, I readjusted it, and I got it right now. I also even went ahead and adjusted the camber on the rear driver side. So now for the most part, the passenger side and the driver side have more or less the equal camber. So remember, this one was sticking out and this one was tucked in. Now this one is sticking out just as much as, more or less for my eye, as this one right here, right? I was bugged out because my first measurement that I did, I was getting a different size gap on both sides. So I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I went and I checked, and sure enough, I had to readjust. Now you can't even see nothing. Well, anyways, I figured it out. I had to measure from the locking screw to the top locking screw to the shock or whatever the fuck, and I figured it out. So now they're both the same measurement on both sides, and the car sits way better now. Way better. Well, there you have it, boys and girls. The car is looking much, much, much better and shit like that. As for the suspension is completely done. There's literally nothing else that I could possibly do to keep going with the suspension. So next is an alignment. I got to get an alignment really, really bad. Once we get that alignment, this car should drive smooth, really, really smooth. So with that being said, I'm gonna end this vlog here. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I'm sorry for being my bad, I was eating Doritos. Sorry for being such a mess. Like, I feel like shit is all over the place right now.